In Part 4 of Chapter 19, we will take a look at primate diversity. If we look at primates, many of the characters that we see are adaptations to life in trees. Primates evolved as small arboreal mammals about 65 million years ago. Most primates are arboreal, and the primate body has a lot of features that were shaped by natural selection for life in the trees. So although we never lived in trees, the human body still has many of these traits because we evolved from arboreal ancestors. So what are some of these primate characters? We see limber joints, again for movement in trees. We see grasping hands and feet, flexible digits. We see a short snout, forward-pointing eyes that allows for enhanced depth perception. Of course, if you are swinging through trees and grabbing onto branches, you have to be able to have that good depth perception. Animals that you see that don't have forward-facing eyes, think of like a horse, they don't have very good depth perception. First on our primate list, we'll take a look at the monkeys. We can separate monkeys into two major groups. We have Old World monkeys and New World monkeys, and this shows us some of the differences between them. Many of the Old World monkeys are arboreal, but some are ground-dwelling, whereas if we look at the New World monkeys, they are all arboreal. If we look at their nostrils, the nostrils of Old World monkeys tend to open downward, and those from the New World tend to open to the side, and they're also a little bit further apart. Old World monkeys do not have a prehensile tail. It means it doesn't grasp onto the limbs, whereas the New World monkeys have these grasping prehensile tails. We also have within this primate group the apes, and of course the apes include the chimps, gorillas, orangutans, gibbons, and humans. So compared to other primates, they have very large brains relative to their body size. So gram for gram, you have a much larger ratio of brain mass and brain size in this group compared to the other groups. Here we'll see a video on primates.
Humans, apes, monkeys, and also tarsiers and lemurs are all considered primates. Primates is an order within the class Mammalia. All mammals are warm-blooded vertebrates with a coat of hair and which nurse their young from mammary glands. But primates have additional characteristics that separate them from all other mammals. We will look at some of the important ones. Primates have large brains in relation to their body size. The average human brain of about 1,300 grams is not the largest brain in the animal kingdom, but it is the largest in relation to body mass. Brain size is not the only factor in intelligence, however. The density of neurons or nerve cells within the cerebral cortex is important, as is the speed at which nerve impulses travel along those neurons. In intelligence, humans rank highest in the animal kingdom, followed by the apes, whales, and elephants. Next come the monkeys, followed by all other animals. Primates not only have relatively large brains, but more of their brain power is devoted to vision than in other animals. Notice the flattened face of the primate, with both eyes in the same plane and facing forward to provide excellent stereoscopic, or 3D, vision. Compare this with other mammals that have an elongated snout, and more of their brain devoted to the sense of smell. The lemur is considered one of the most primitive of the primates because of its long snout and keen sense of smell. It also has 6 mammary glands rather than only 2, as other primates have. Primates have a long gestation period and a long developmental period following birth. The human baby is in the womb for 9 months, the mountain gorilla for 8.5 months, and the orangutan a little more than 8 months. The black bear, on the other hand, is in the uterus for 7 months, and the Florida panther only 3 months. Development after birth is also slowed for primates. The human baby will not walk for almost a year. but a wildebeest can stand within 7 minutes of birth. The wildebeest will reach sexual maturity in 4 years or less, as opposed to the human, which reaches adolescence in the early teens. With a large brain but few instincts, the primate has much to learn before it is equipped to survive on its own. Primates have 5 digits on the hands and feet, with flattened nails at the ends of the digits. Old World monkeys and apes have a true opposable thumb. New World monkeys have grasping hands, where the thumb is either non-opposable or only partly so. A true opposable thumb is a huge advantage that allows a primate to manipulate objects. The human foot is specialized for walking rather than grasping and has no opposable digit. In the primates, especially in the apes, there is a tendency toward holding the torso in an upright position, and for bipedalism. Most of the time, however, apes rely on knuckle walking. Bipedalism is fully developed in only the human. Finally, the shoulder joints of primates allow for rotation in all directions. This is different than in most mammals, whose legs move primarily in one plane. The tremendous mobility of the shoulders and arms, as well as the dexterity of the hands, and especially the large size of the brain, have given primates distinct advantages in escaping from predators and providing for their own survival.
Let's briefly take a look at where humans fit into this primate group. We can see that the phylogenetic tree for primates is separated into 3 major groups. We have the group here that has the lemurs, lorises, and bush babies. We have a group here that are the tarsiers, and then everything underneath that are what we call the anthropoids. Within that, we have the New World and Old World monkeys. The next group we have are the apes. Monkeys and apes together are considered anthropoids. Oid means like, so they're ape-like. But one of the big distinctions between monkeys and apes is the presence of the tail. And then within the apes, we have the gibbons, orangutans, gorillas, chimps, and humans. This figure shows us that the anthropoids started developing back here around 55 million years ago. And then we can see here humans and chimps diverged about 8 million years ago. In our next video, we'll take a look at hominin evolution.